Hi everyone, it's Angelon on Mima. It's late, it's night, time to sleep. But unfortunately, no. There is very important information I need to share. While I'm killing time, waiting for Fajr prayer, Tahajjud, and have my sahur and we continue the fasting. Alhamdulillah, today went well, but I was a little bit pissed off later. We started off very well with prayers and this and that, and then somebody comes in between and fucks up everything as usual. I don't like this group of Rima and the rest. You have played a lot of games today, and I hope now you know what you're playing with. Don't worry what I'm dressed. And don't be fooled by that comic who is also in red. See that photo? That's the jacket. Now you know everything. So, let's see how it goes. I don't want to see comics and narcissists here. We don't want to repeat a cycle. The most important message here, it's more Jewish. It's Kabbalah here. And where do I start? There's a lot of old messages, but this has to be passed. Time is of essence when it comes to issues of the third temple. There's so much talks, but there's less action. The rabbi will understand me very well. I sent a message earlier and I did tell you, consider this. You have been a mentor to me. And I have been getting messages and you have been decoding them as well. And I'm referring to Rabbi Manis Friedman. That's the one I was directed to straight for teachings and Tanya and everything that we decoded together. Alhamdulillah, it's been a long journey. But I learned a lot and you decoded many messages which were hidden from me. So he understands me. And I will really appreciate if you look into this matter. Time is of essence. And unfortunately, I did send out a video and we discussed issues about ceasefire. Sadly, Netanyahu is not interested. Looks like he is not interested. He has his own agenda. The greed is, I want it all. It will not work that way. The coexistence must be there. It has been there. And I will explain to you. It has been there. It will be there until our last breath. Even though ratios might change. I gave information here. Somebody went and twisted everything. Simple instruction. Even a simple ratio, you could not understand that? For every one Jew hostel, release 4 Palestinian prisoners. There are many in the Jewish side. Was it hard for you even to understand this? Or who is this sending out my messages who can't even understand what I was saying? Every information was very clear. But it seems someone cares less, doesn't want. And they even caused more damages. Now here it is. Why am I here today? You know, today is the liberation where Moses freed the Jewish community from the tyranny of Pharaoh. And it was the day, the destruction and the end, the downfall of the Pharaoh empire. And how did that empire die? Because Pharaoh and his main people drowned. The Jewish community was saved and Pharaoh met his demise. Why is this day very important? I saw in the morning people were doing Siddur, people were praying, even in the Jewish community. I was very happy because if you understand this concept, it's not about the Muslims, Ashura and Tasua and the New Year. We share the same common ground. The thing is, the most important part here is to understand the word is liberation. Liberation. Go back to my old videos when I explained the story behind who were these Jews that were turned into slavery. They were not just normal Jews, like every Tom, Dick, and Harry, for example. They were Kabbalah students. I even explained the locations of their graves and their villages where their ancestors were buried. Some were even near the border of Egypt. They were sold out by their own sage, who was an advisor of Pharaoh. He knew these are the chosen community that is learning the Kabbalah. They have the hidden knowledge, ancient knowledge, because I will explain to you what happened and why is Kabbalah has been always been a secret. Even the ones which is mystic in the community, it's still kept a secret. Not everybody can access this information. And for those who are chosen, you get it directly from the 5D invisible teachers, mentors. They come and pass it through lineages. They even make you fast. Like, for example, I don't know about others. For me, you'll have to take an oath. Whatever is secret. Whatever you need to share, you'll need to share. The rest, and when you try to talk, they hold your jaw. Ask those who are really Kabbalistic, they will tell you that. So what happened is, this is the important time for freedom, liberation. Why is the third temple important? Isn't that liberation? But how do we get that? Before we reach that story, now I'm trying to compare the liberation of Jews from slavery and the raising of the third temple. And I will explain to you everything here. When you gain your freedom, especially from a tyrant or from a very uncomfortable lifestyle, there will always be that confusion first. And that's exactly what Moses had encountered. The story of the golden calf and all that. But I don't want to go there. Let's just talk about this phase of liberating one another. When the sage sold the Kabbalah community of the young mystic learners who were chosen to be the one who are going to be learning, taking the knowledge, and then they always go in other villages to heal people. Unfortunately, when the sage was being paid heavily, they needed to have this knowledge because it's outside, it's like out of the norm to build the pyramids and all the constructions you see even up till today in Egypt. There was always connection between the invisible world, like we call aliens, but it's in the invisible world where real Kabbalistic people who have reached a certain degree get knowledge and come down, or even you come in contact with them and they communicate with you, like the way I communicate easily with the spirit guides, invisible beings. They needed these people so that they can trap and get this knowledge to build the pyramids and all the structures that stand until today. But how were they to get that? The sage had no enough knowledge, but he knew through the Kabbalistic student, we are going to get enough people to do the job. Because in Kabbalah, there's geometry, there's everything. There is a lot of science there. And construction needs what? Mathematics. And without that, you can't do shit. And not only that, but that there was wisdom, the secrets of crystals, and so many other things, which ignite and give the help that they needed from the other world to build. So the only way they could target was mostly the Jewish community, because they used to buy slaves from Africa, but they were not interested. Their target was the Jewish community, and the reason is because of the hidden knowledge. Now, this is why I'm speaking about this Kabbalah today. and how it's connecting all of us to this, and why I'm talking about this, insisting our dumbhead Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu, that he doesn't know that he's sitting on a time bomb. Because he is more like a pharaoh now. Because even the Jewish community wants him to stop what he's doing. He cares less. He just want to play games. And because of that, he is going to be turned into the pharaoh thing. And I will explain to you how. So when the sage sold the Kabbalah group out, they were invaded in their villages and they were taken. And that's how they became slaves. The different groups had different knowledge. The sage was good. He had all his mastery, but he lacked information, deeper information about Kabbalah. So he made sure he had people from the crystal knowledge. He had people who could tap in the other world. And that is why everybody, until today, the scientific discovery and all that, they say, why is the pyramid always affected up more than down? Are there aliens flying up there? Well, the real story of pyramids is connection from the crystals. They will attract. Just like you see thunder, you see if there is a tall building, there'll always be like a metal which is going to be sharp there, because in case a thunder strikes, it goes straight into the earth wire so that the whole building doesn't blow up. This trick was used. I will not go deeper because mostly it's a secret, but this trick was used, and they used to pull these entities and they will come in to help, but not helping willingly. It's because it's like getting the information with the heavy crystals of lapis lazuli. That's why it's lapis lazuli normally it comes from the downhills of Afghanistan, Himalaya, and all those areas. That is where it's the main home for lapis lazuli. But these crystals was mostly active, and you could find them like extremely precious ones in Egypt. And the reason is because they were using for cosmetic, but the main secret is lapis lazuli. That's why they call it the stone of the ancient Egypt, but it's not original from Egypt. That stone comes from, the crystal comes from Afghanistan, Asian part, the Himalaya, where there's areas where there are a lot of hills and people with small eyes. That's where it comes from. And why do you think until now, this is something else I'm going to tell you. Why do you think until now places like Afghanistan are not extremely modernized? Blame it on those minds. The secret of lapis lazuli is holding them back from modernization. They don't know how to activate this. I know someone gonna say, but trust me. If you know how to activate that stone, that's why I remember one day I said, if there is a country which will be extremely rich without any debt, it should be Afghanistan. Because they're sitting on it's like mine, something which is more precious than gold. But if only they have the knowledge how to use these stones. Lapis lazuli can make you extremely rich, or it can alter your life forever if you don't know how to use it and make you bankrupt. That's the power of that stone. That's why they call it the stone of ancient Egypt. The entire kingdom of Pharaoh was mostly run secretly by these types of crystals. Because he was trying, that's why he was seeing himself as God. He was using every knowledge possible to pull these things in to get that information. And he got help in tips in building through Kabbalah knowledge. That's why the students could raise and write and even draw. The architecture could come up with very sophisticated information to build those structures. And that's why they're standing until today, after centuries and centuries. So capturing that knowledge, and they knew how they go about it, they utilized it to the maximum. And that's why Pharaoh established himself. And that's why the reason I'm saying why Afghanistan is still more like Stone Age. The reason is that's a place where it will be a lot of activities coming up for so many things. First, do you know that Al-Mahdi will be living in caves for 40 years? And it will be in a place where lapis lazuli is very active, which is those areas, Afghan, Himalaya, and it's near China and all these areas. Those are the first indicators. Some of the Kabbalistic people know, and that's why they rather keep that country the way it is. Why am I talking about this? I will explain to you why. I'm coming. We're using the crystal and the story. I'm building a story for all of you to understand this. Al-Mahdi will be staying in the caves for 40 years. And a country which has non-development, one of them is Afghanistan. This is the same country which had the secret mine, the stones, the crystals, which can activate the other world now, where we go. The Matrix love lapis lazuli because it's used as a signal to communicate or to tap into this earth. That stone, it's extremely precious in the other world, even than diamonds and golds. But that country is being programmed to stay the way it is, because when they extract a lot of lapis, there will be a lot of signals going out, and this will be a disaster. The more it comes up, the more signals go up. The more signals go up, the more you're attracting that force which comes in, which can crack now the wall which Dhul-Qarnayn built. And that can be a very detrimental side. Here now comes the connection. When the destruction of Pharaoh came, they know most of those who were having this knowledge died with Pharaoh. The army, because it was a big army, and the whole empire died. So the powers of Pharaoh and his secrets, he died with them. Everything was destroyed. So they could not continue to manipulate the universe with the power of different crystals and frequencies and other stuff. Not everybody can take a crystal and just do it. No, there are codes for every crystal. So that knowledge died. And that was the liberation of the Jewish community. So it was not about slavery. It was the manipulation through secret codes, frequencies, and powers. But Jews were sold out by their own sage. So the day of liberation, which was like today, when they walked out, it was a plus point not only for freedom, you're out of the tyrant's hands, but we're also out of this, like, it was more like a mind control, manipulation, and people were liberated. Now, this is what I'm trying now to come up with. We see a lot of things happening right now in the universe. There's already cracks in the Dhul-Qarnayn world. We have seen signs everywhere. Something is coming. Scientists have already also premeditated. Astronomers have already seen signs that very soon, very soon, there will be a sunrise from the west, and that was already predicted also in the Quran. There's major signs of Qiyamah. I'm not here to scare anybody, but I'm just telling you. People calculate things they can see 20, 30 years, but you can see it right now because the knowledge is very much enhanced, and you can tap into many things. For example, even like psychic use now, investigators use psychics to get information and they get it. So then it's like hidden knowledge or psychic abilities are also being used, put them in reality to science, and when you go and amplify that information, you come up with a lot of contents, which makes it now understand whatever was being predicted, signs of Kiyama before and after, it's all going to be coming, and we have seen them. We have seen them. So now the destruction and freedom of the Jews. Back to this topic. Why is it significant today? For the Jews' third temple, for it to rise and stand firm, we need a proper foundation, of course. But we can't take any measures for it to stand strong until three things happen. Three things happen. Let's go back to a little bit to history. As far as 70 AD, because I got this knowledge, I just wanted the exact timing, because my guides were giving me the information, but not, my guides are spirit guides, not invisible beings, not people here. So that's one thing you need to understand. And I checked it out and it's true. When the Roman destroyed the temple, there was some stuff which were looted. Then it was there were Christians who were expelling the Jews, saying they were doing missionary work. When these Jews were expelled, the Byzantine Empire, when they kicked in, they gave part of the Christians I can say an edifice, a part of it to be ruled by the Christians, because the Jews now were kicked out. The Persian had conquered everything and they gave them a portion for themselves to practice their religion. The thing is, fast forward, this is now, imagine, from the Jews to the Christian when the Persian Empire came in. Then Khalifa Umar in Islam, that in the 630, I think AD, that's when he took over that city. But if you look deeper now to the topography of that place, what happened during this fight? Remember, I explained one time the night of the Templar when they went and they were hitting the Jews, and there's a lot of destruction. They stole scrolls which had information, hidden knowledge, because they fear that they're going to be overpowered by the Kabbalah. When they stole this information on their way back, they were sleeping, these scrolls were all taken away. And that's the reason today Kabbalah is only being passed to the right lineage and right higher who deserve to have this knowledge. It's no longer shared like before. It was in scrolls and people were getting that information and putting it in compilation. No, during the time when the Knight of Templars was stealing it because they wanted to bring it back to Europe and use it, unfortunately, it was taken away. Mystically, it was taken away. And they couldn't get hold of that knowledge. Otherwise, it would have been taken, the knowledge would have been in the hands of the Knight of the Templars. So for preservation, they took it. Who did it? Metatron. The angel Metatron. So the three things which need first to be cleared, and they come in stages. The first three things we need to consider before the third temple stands up. You need to look, what was the main thing which was stolen during the destructions? The golden pot that had manna was stolen. The rod of Aaron, the brother of Moses, was stolen. And the tablet of the covenants those were also stolen. We cannot retrieve them back. But here are the tips. How are we going to get that golden pot of manna? The golden pot of manna was a symbol when, after liberation, there was no food and nothing. God sent it as a present. Subhanallah, even in the Quran it's written, manna wa salwa. It was brought down for everybody to eat. First, it was more like a present, a token of appreciation for those people who had patience and made it through. There was no food, so Allah sent down manna wa salwa. The pot which had that manna was a symbol because it was stolen. The main reason it was being preserved, it's a symbol of kosher receiving of meals, halal recipients of meals, because they didn't work for it. It came as a present to them. So honoring that pot which received the first manna was a symbol of being thankful and looking for the right kosher way of receiving, which now we come back to Kabbalah and you understand the concept of, I always tell, in Kabbalah, you're always told not to take. You ask and then wait and receive. Even when someone gives you something, you're not supposed to take it like this way. When somebody gives you something, according to the teachings, is open your arm, let it drop. That's the concept of manna and salwa. It dropped from the heavens to receive. So you become a recipient. That's why when we pray, we raise our arms. We are expecting to receive. Now you understand why I don't go around fighting people to ask for my money. I tell you, bring it because I'm expecting to receive. You don't send it, I raise my arm, it will also go up. Just like the way you took it from me, it will also evaporate. So that's the concept. The golden pot, we cannot retrieve this until we learn to fold our arms and be able to receive. And how can we receive that? Kosher, justice. We have to be just. We don't have to grab. We have to be open to receive what God has destined for us. They had no way out back then to eat, but it was the pot of manna that the first manna arrived. And it was a miracle God was showing that I can give you, even when there's no source. You just have to have faith and it will come. So that pot was stolen. One factor the temple can't stand is we have not learned to receive. We have become grabbers. Whereby now, Netanyahu, I'm here with you. And I'm not scared if you send me Mossad. But I'll tell you the truth because this is important for every last Jewish who is existing in this world. If you will not sit and have ceasefire, you want to grab, you keep on going and destruction and destruction and destruction. You are destroying our pot of manna. And without this pot, we cannot raise that pillar of the third temple. It's not only the heifer to be slaughtered. These are the three main secrets. And then I will come and show you exactly how they connect these three things. So that pot is needed. We can't sit and receive when others are hurting. Yes, there was a conflict and it's never ending, but it's time. You are given an option, cease for a ceasefire. Why do you go for more destruction when you can receive? If the land is meant to be yours, a time will come you'll receive. If there is something meant to be yours, you will get it. And every Jew community But that doesn't mean you go destroy them. Last time I spoke about already you have the communities already damaged in the Palestinian team. The other side here, the communities. Why do you cause more damage? Why? Because you want it all? That's bullshit. Now you are destroying the entire Jewish community. We are losing our pot of manna. The more you move in, the more we're moving far from the pot. Do you understand me now? And I hope the rabbi will decode this as well. So that's the secret, the pot of manna. Why was it preserved? Why did they steal it? That's the reason. It's one source that will make the third temple rise. Because until we receive, then we can manifest. Because when they received the manna, they had the strength now to cultivate their land and settle down. Because they had no food, nothing. They were in wilderness. But when that came, it gave them that energy to retrieve whatever was lost, all that strength that was drained during slavery. And they rejuvenated with that food, which gave them energy to now stand in their 2 feet, build, cultivate their land, and find now their own food. So it was a healing after misery. But if we don't have that, how are we going to raise the first pillar or to raise the... Because it's a triangle, you all know that. We need 3 pillars. If the first pillar is not stable, the rest can't come. So if we don't recognize the code of the pot, golden pot of manna, we can't move to any other stage. And the only way we have to receive is, do not be the type that, I want it all. Be grateful with what we have, because it will increase. When they received manna, it was a kickstart. But when they had that strength, they built everything in their lands and settled. And gave birth for 2 generations that kept on coming until today. So that is the one thing that is needed to be fixed. You have to consider that. The pot of manna is not only a pot. It's the concept. We need to receive. You don't need to grab. And that's why I insist on the ceasefire. Now I will decode this, you'll understand me. This is why I was fighting for that. Peace, peace, peace is enough now. The damage is already done on the other community. But what about you? Are you also going to be the one destroying us, shooting us in our foot? That's the reason I said, honestly, I hate you, Netanyahu. And I wish the other Jews would join in and we just kick you out. Because you don't want ceasefire. If there is no ceasefire, there's always destruction. How are we going to have that peace here? To start building this, which I will come back here. Right now, I will explain it. The second significant figure is the iron rod. Ace. The rod is an ace. It was the stick of Moses that could do wonders. Even it was the one that split the sea for people to go through it again to freedom, safer area. And it was the same stick that caused destruction. This rod was stolen, but this was for Aaron, the Moses brother's rod that was stolen. Why is it important also for the second temple? For the third temple to stand. Why is it important? This is the second point. Well, the rod, we all understand, it's ace. 1, it's a leaf. It's the power of Elohim. If we will not consider and respect that one, how are we going to move to the next steps? Remember, Aaron was the helper of Moses. Moses was the liberator of the Jews. So if you will not consider and recognize that the help which was there, the same rod like Moses had, Even though his road was not significant, the significant part of the road is the recognition of one, the recognition of the helper, the recognition of the new beginning, a leaf. And you know the vibration in the gematria, numerology. What is the vibration of a leaf in the Jewish alphabet? What does it say? It's the alpha, it's the omega. It's the beginning. It's an attribute of God. So that is another symbol that the presence of God is gone. How can we achieve that? Is to recognize how to stand up and how we can help each other to help the leader who is going to be standing as the Messiah appear there and be strong. Because Aaron was the helper of Moses. Helper. So Messiah is the one who's the leader. So if the helper is missing, which is all of us that need to contribute, how will the Messiah appear? That's the second message. The third is the table of the tablet of the covenants. That is very obvious. Messages are not being passed. Messages are missing. The right wisdom is missing. So how can we take action? If our leader is failing and doesn't want to be corrected, how can we move forward? It can't work. So without these three factors, nothing activates. And when nothing activates, how are we going to wait for that Messiah? How are we going to wait for that peace and third temple to appear? When the hands are dirty, it will not work. When the message is hidden and being manipulated to masses so that we brainwash everybody, especially now with the media, it's modern world. People are being brainwashed not to see the bigger picture, but there's a lot of hidden concept behind the scene. That's the tablet of the covenant, which went missing because they were stolen. So if these three factors we don't consider or we don't work on them, there will be no third temple in any shape or form. If the leader is corrupt, how can you help that leader? If the leader wants it all, how can we have that pot of manna back? And if the tablets were stolen with the messages, so how are we going to get the truth out for justice to prevail? Because without justice, that temple will not stand. And we will never see the Mashiach appearing. So those are the factors which are very important. Now, if we come to the tree of life, this is how the connection now comes in. When you look at Kether, the top crown of the tree of life, and when we look down on the Malkuth, is the kingdom, is also going straight line. What you all don't understand is both of them have Metatron on top and Metatron on top, on the down. Metatron, remember, was an angel. Is an angel. I did explain about, for example, my lineage, which goes back way to Sharabi. He was a student of Metatron. Metatron is an invisible teacher. He got his knowledge through Metatron. He learned it even the same way that I'm saying how we learned it now. It's passed in the right hires in the lineages, invisible knowledge, invisible teachers who come and give you this hidden knowledge. So, yep, Sharabi was one of those people who had it, and he's one of my guides. And if you look at the tree of life, Keter, crown, is controlled by Metatron. And when you look down at Malkut, is also Metatron. And it's a straight line. When you look at up there, the crown, the Keter, you have, when you reach there, you need to master the 33 degree. That's where the Keter is. It's not about the Mason. It's about the around Kabbalah. The Mason is nothing. Kabbalah, that's knowledge is in Kabbalah. The 33 degree. Then there is applied there. That's why the Masons have called it, with this. But what you don't understand, if you, for example, Masons who are here or any other organization, secret groups, they know very well this knowledge where it comes from. They don't share it. That's why they're called secret societies. But the main key is 33 degree is you have reached the mastery of crown. We can say even the crown chakra is at its finest here. You tap straight because you connect from the ground up to the top, 30 degree, but you can even tap to, if you are lucky and you're connected and you're the higher of, for example, in your lineage, get the message from Metatrons and they come to you. But this is where now I want to show you how these three factors are being very active, very much important in the tree of life. And once this is activated, the temple will stand and the Messiah will easily appear. When we start from the ground is Malkuth, yeah, where that is the first order. This is the action level. And for this action level to be activated, we will need Hod, which is the free will, the splendor, and we will need Netzach, which is also the victory part. But this is the foundation. And remember, these two have to connect with Yesod, and that is come to the El Chai, where foundation will say Chai. You sing Am Israel Chai, but it's Am Israel Chai. That is come from Yesod. So the first triangle, which these three factors have to connect. So I'm saying the three factors, the golden pot of manna, Aaron's rod, and the tablet of the covenant. But when we connect them in the tree of life, we start down. The ground is Malkut. We want the kingdom. How do we establish this kingdom? Okay, we need Hod. We need the free will, the splendor. We need victory, and that comes from Netzach. And then the foundation. That's the main point, because any kingdom has to have a foundation. It comes from the Yesod, where it is high, the lively one. Do we have that will? The first order is connected the right way, that we have the free will, we have the splendor, we are free, free will, we are free. We are ready to do it. Then activate it and connect it to Netzach. It's our victory. Our freedom is our victory for us to have this kingdom. But the problem is the Yesod. El Chai, do we have it? Are we alive? If we are alive inside, this first triangle of the first order will be activated. If only these points are met. How do we get this free will? The unity, which comes from the leader. But look at how many people are opposing the leader right now. People are tired. And so long as this will not happen, Hod, Netzach, und Yesod, nothing will move forward. These are now you understand the first 3 points. That the 3 things which were stolen, they will only be activated. We start by here. Significantly. We need the victory. We need the freedom. There's free will. And we need the foundation, the Al-Khai. Then now the Malkuth can be founded. The kingdom can be activated, which is Nokva, you can say. Then we need to move now to the second level. If we have activated this, yeah, we are free, we are united, we have the free will, we are victorious in a way that when we achieve our freedom and we have unity together, that's already victory. And when we have victory, now our foundation can be built because we live. We have the Al-Khai. When we have this activated, this first triangle, then we move to the second now version of it. When we go to the second order, which is the emotional level. The first one is the action, remember. And that is exactly what happened today. When Pharaoh was destroyed and the free will, the victory was achieved, Netzach, and people were moved to the safer place, crossing the Red Sea. That was the free will, which is Hod, power. The power of Moses, the power of God, led the Israelis to freedom. And when they crossed to the other side, that was victory, Netzach. And after that, what happened? They Yesod. This is where now the foundation came in. The freedom of the Israelites and the establishment of their new homeland. New settlement, sorry. And they had their Malkuth, their kingdom. So do you see? This is what is activated now. But do we have it? Of course not. Our leader has blood in his hands. They don't want to listen. So we're not free. Liberation is not from killing the Palestinian or any other country. The liberation comes from Israel itself. When we have unity. When this action level is activated, then the second level comes in, which is the emotional level now. The emotional level, now we need the Geborah. That's the strength. Because unity is strength. That's the strength. The structure and power. Once you have this Geborah and connected to Chesed, which is loving kindness. We have the power, but we are not bullies. We are more empathic to one another and to our surroundings. Then we connect it to Tiferet, where it comes to the beauty of all this emotional. Because when you're emotional, you feel empathic. And you admire or you love it because there will be an expression of anything that happens. The unity will bring people back to life. And when you bring people back to life, that beauty and that kindness will activate that emotional order, which will be one thing born. Protection and unity. And that is the second thing, the Aaron's rod, which is missing. When we unite, like he united with Moses, he sent the protection, the empathy, and together they had power. Geborah. So when this now activates, the Tiferet comes in. And that brings that beauty out of being together. A second triangle is activated. When this now is activated and is achieved, so we have solved the second problem. Now the final stage is the cognitive order. The cognitive order requires Bina, the understanding. Then we need Shokhma, the wisdom. And all of this need to come together with Keter, now the crown. And this is how that establishment and the temple, the kingdom, and the arrival of the leader, the Messiah. Because we have already built 3 triangles from the tree of life. We have achieved these 3 orders, which was the 3 things which have been missing, and that is why nothing was connecting for generations. What is this 3rd order, which is cognitive? Cognitive, now that is the tablet of the covenants. The knowledge, when you have the knowledge, you have understanding, which is Bina. When we have the understanding, we have the Chokhmah, which is the wisdom. Oh, so this is how it works. So this is how we should do it. This is how the structure. When we have all this, the understanding, the wisdom, now the kingdom is already formed. From the foundation, Malkuth, straight to Keter, and the crown is born. And when the crown is created, the crown is born, that's 33 degrees, where the Metatron sits there and controls it. When this happens, and I don't mean the crown people here, because that's bullshit. Someone will come here with her crown. I'm talking about serious stuff. When the crown now, the Keter is activated through Bina and Shokma. When this triangle is met, the cognitive level is activated, and that's where the 3rd missing point is, the tablet of the covenant. The 3 things now, the 3 orders, once they're activated, then these things are officially received back. And these are the type of things that the Mashiach will first tap into. The 3 things which have been stolen and they were missing, this is what is the first factor when Mashiach comes, we look into. Where is the rod? Where is the pot? And here is the covenant. So do you understand now how deep this thing is? The importance of ceasefire? The liberation today we have gotten, that's the foundation. The whole, the free will, we are free. The Netzach, victory. The Yesod, now, El Chai, we are alive. But that's the first order. Is it really built? If not, we can't move to the next stage. There is no foundation for the Malkuth. So that's the most important message I needed to share. Why the temple is not standing. What factors need to be considered in the Kabbalah that they have to rise up and really look into this matter so it can be solved and the 3 orders can be followed. From the action order to the 2nd order, which is the emotional part, and then the 3rd one is the cognitive part. Once those 3 are all on, the triangle in 3 parts which have been activated now will bring the mega one, the big one, and that is when we will definitely have the temple standing, and you will see now the right leader, the Mashiach, will come. He will ask for the rod, he will ask for the pot, and he will have this knowledge prepared for everyone. So I hope you've understood me. I know this is deep, this is Kabbalah work. I had to decode everything and I just put all in order, and I hope I can be understood because I know, of course, we have Kabbalah masters here. I have my own master in my own way. But the rabbi will understand, I hope, and the explanation is extremely clear. All in all, please look into the ceasefire. It's important for us, especially as of today is the liberation. Let's use this opportunity now. At least we can activate the first level, the foundation of the Malkuth. We want the Yesod, El Chai, then let's do it. Yeah, we are alive, but we are dead because there's no action taken. How do we call ourselves alive when we are not functioning and doing the right thing? We are not practicing the life purpose that is meant for us to do it. And that's why this is not working. So we can use these dates. So I hope other Jews also who are looking into it will understand, because this was also a very significant time. The Jews were fasting. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam even fasted on this day because he copied it from the Jews, and he asked why, and he was told it's because Moses liberated the Jews from the tyrant of Israel, and it was the downfall of the Pharaoh Empire, which is a celebration to the Jews. And the only way they could thank God was through fasting. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ also fasted while he shifted to Medina, and he was establishing his first Islamic settlement. So do you see the people, they were coexisting together, and the practices and noble actions were similar. It's sad now to see what we go through right now. I hope this ceasefire will happen and we will talk, but let me just show you my crazy notes. Let's see. I was decoding and writing and putting and the tree of life together until everything connected the right way, because I didn't want to come and give the message and to be misleading, because this is extremely sensitive and it's very important, not only for the Jewish community, but this is something very global we are all looking forward to. But we need that peace and strong foundation for the three levels, the three orders to take place. And once that happens, then we can have the win, inshallah. Now, let me just quickly pull cards to see how this message is being supported. Then I'll just pull some verses and we call it a day. Call it a morning. It's almost morning because it just... Yeah. We are heartbroken. And look, 3 factors. These are the 3 things that have been stolen. The covenant, the Aaron's rod, and the golden pot of manna. And when I say these things, please, for God's sake, can you stop bringing me people like manna and then put them as a significant article? No. We are talking about real stuff here. So do you see the 3 factors which are missing, which are the main reason why things are not working? We are getting heartbroken. Even the invisible helper, even Elohim, God, it's not working. People are praying and doing this and that. Why is this not working? It's because of these 3 factors. Until we heal these 3 factors, then we are going to achieve, oh my God, look, subhanAllah. Then we will achieve what we wanted. When we talk about the rod, here it is. The action will take place, but we are not doing the right thing. Again, 3 factors. You see, these are standing, the cups. 3 factors are down. This is the significant here. 3 factors, 3 main issues which cause us to be sad. Every time, even if there's a new beginning, it's still not working, because until these cups are filled, then this heartbreak, this sadness will stop. Because the action needs to be taken. The liberation, moving to calmer waters. Again, we have a road here. Then number 3 is very significant as well. It's very important. Moving to calmer waters, considering these 3 factors. And if you look at the significance of today, moving from the liberation from the tyranny, it's all here. Yeah, just a card. If you look at right now, 2 of Pentacles, juggling. When we had the pot of manna, everything was coming easily from heaven for people to eat and rejuvenate. But when, quote unquote, the pot of manna is missing, it means we miss our blessings. We have to struggle to find our end mates. And this is the reason. We are struggling. But a time was there that people were receiving everything just from heaven. But the pot went missing. And that's why the whole universe is struggling. We are struggling. The Jews are struggling. And any other community. Where is that pot? Where is that golden pot? It will only be achieved when these 3 orders are activated. Otherwise, they are here. We are here in losses. Yeah. Leadership. Until the leader is just. When the leader is just, then everything will move forward. When the leader is just, you see, you need to balance the skills. Then everything will move forward. Emperor is the leader, the president, the person who makes the last shot. Until these things happen, things will move forward. A transformation will take place, which I'm not supposed to pick that card. The transformation will take place, and okay, these two cards are fine. Yeah. You don't need to fight. A transformation will take place, which will make the enemies walk away themselves. It's not about winning or anything, no. But you will have everything that you need to move forward. See that? You will be like a magician who has everything that moves forward. Sorry, my deck is a little bit. But for now, this card was in reverse. This card came in reverse. Things are not moving forward. It's because of this lack, this heartbreak, because of these three things that have happened. We don't see that. But once this stagnancy and the reconsideration of all these factors take place, then the chapter will be closed and things will go and move forward, because these triangles are going to be activated and living, coexisting together without enmity, rather than showing the kindness, the chesed is needed, and the bina, the understanding that we are all together, we are all children and descendants of Abraham and this and that. Then this will be activated and everything will work out the right way, because that's when we will have the key and the Mashiach will appear as per the Jewish teachings. So I hope now you understand that. Whatever I told you, and this is the proof of the card. I've pulled the card right here in front of you while I was reading. I know the Muslims will be surprised. Why are you saying this? No, it's needed. It's needed to be done, because if I speak the Islamic language, they won't understand. I have to speak the Kabbalah language so the Jews can also get me in their concept, and they will understand the importance of this ceasefire. All right. We have the poets. Shara. 369. It's from page 369. Gemini significant, Virgo significant, Sagittarius significant. Again, we have 19. Aries, Sagittarius significant. If we add this, it comes to 369 is 99, which is 18, which comes to a 9, which means that's the highest point of the manifestation. Then we have 19, which means the beginning, as I say, the alif, the vibration, and 9 is the last in the highest number in the vibration also, which is the pivot point for manifestation. When you add it together, it's 10, completion. It's completion, which means either, sorry guys, 10 of cups, 10 of wands, or you want 10 of pentacles, or it's the 10 of swords. What we choose is going to be the factor that is going to consider what is coming. Anyway, the verse starts at 182, and it goes as, and weigh with scales true and upright. Exactly what I said. And I showed you the justice card. And weigh with scales true and upright, and withhold not things justly due to men, nor do evil in the land, working mischief. Subhanallah. It's like you have seen me doing everything here, opening and all that. And this is how you see the Kabbalah connection, the messages I get. And I always tell you, I come with divine messages, despite having very good imposters here, but they can't tap into what I do. When I decide to come here and do the right thing, I know I'm not bragging, but I know I'm the real deal. And you can see whatever messages I give you, Even when I pull cards, you see, even I open a Quran, the message still comes the same way because I interlink and I know my source is the right source. I don't go to the dark world to pick it. And fear him who created you and who created the generations before you. They said, thou art only one of those bewitched. Thou art no more than a mortal like us, and indeed we think thou art a liar. Now cause a piece of the sky to fall on us, if the art is true. He said, my Lord knows best, then you do. But they rejected him. Then the punishment of the day overshadowing a gloom seized them, and that was the chastisement of a great day. Verily, in that is a sign, but most of them don't believe. So I'm going to stop there. It's clear. Oh, okay. I'm told to continue. And verily the Lord is He, the exalted, in might, most merciful. Verily this is a revelation from the Lord of the worlds. With it came down the truthful spirit to thy heart, and thou mayest admonish in the perspicuous Arabic tongue. Without doubt, it is announced in the revealed books of former peoples. It is not a sign to them that the land of the children of Israel knew it as true. I think that's why I was told continue. I had not seen this. So see the message strongly, children of Israel. Had we revealed it to any of the non-Arabs, and had he recited it to them, they would not have believed in it. Thus we have caused it to enter the hearts of the sinners. They will not believe it until they see the grievous chastisement. But it will come to them of a sudden, while they perceive it not. Then they will say, shall we be respited? Do they then ask our chastisements to be hastened on? So I'm going to stop there. This is Surah Al-Shu'ara. I think I don't need to add anything anymore. The message is super loud and clear. I will snap the verses and you can see it yourself. Let's hope it will not happen again. 1. 2, there's a crazy person who sits in the black outfit. They use my work and you know this person is not mentally stable. Another one is, I'm sorry, you can't put spirituality, my level, with someone who is more like a prostitute here. I will not allow that. So those people who are going to be moderating, even if they're in black, white team, I don't want them. When I do this job, I need very highly skilled people and very respectable people to air them. Not a Tom, Dick, and Harry, I don't know, Anu, Jim, or somebody just wants airtime and get an entry. When these messages come, they always come with a lot of weight. And I'm taking a lot of responsibility to crack their messages. So don't sit here, bring me somebody who is a little bit noko and try to air these messages. They need someone who understands my work, expert, and they have been working with me and skilled on, please. I don't need people who are half minute away or faggy women or such things. Spirituality, and your media games, you can do them somewhere else. So that is one thing I also need to make it loud and clear. Respect is needed here and boundaries. So I'm going to stop it there. Until then, inshallah, goodbye.